Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, guys, as always, several things to tell you. A big story over the recent days on Roberto and Zerbi, but much more to say. Something to clarify on Sandro, Tonali, Elliot Anderson, but also Cucurella, Lukaku. Let's jump into it. Here we are, guys, always to keep you updated on the transfer market. It's a big international break week because obviously there are final verdicts on the World Cup, but today the big story on the transfer world, which is about managers in this case and not players, is about Roberto De Zerbi, because I told you every single step of this story here on the channel with exclusive updates, and now it's official, it's done, it's signed, it's here we go. Roberto De Zerbi is the new Tottenham Hotspur manager. Everything signed, everything agreed. Let's clarify some points. Roberto De Zerbi takes the job immediately, and Roberto De Zerbi will sign, already signed, but will be committed for the next 5 years, till June 2031. So a very long contract for Roberto De Zerbi. There is no relegation exit clause. So actually, from what I'm told, Roberto De Zerbi made clear to Tottenham board, to Tottenham management, and will make clear to Tottenham players that he's fully committed to the Tottenham Hotspur project. So if Tottenham go down into the championship, Roberto De Zerbi is prepared to stay, to fight for it, and to be part of the Tottenham project. But obviously, the mission, the clear mission, is to stay up in the Premier League, obsession to stay up in the Premier League, and then build a new, fresh project with Roberto De Zerbi. So, total commitment, no relegation clause, really important salary. Roberto De Zerbi will be in the top 3 of the best paid managers in the Premier League, but also really excited to take over at Tottenham and to start a new era for the club after a really complicated and tough season with this relegation battle ongoing. So good luck to Roberto De Zerbi, new manager of Tottenham Hotspur. Then, stories of the day, guys, before we jump into Manchester United midfield. Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku didn't answer Napoli official call to be back in training. There has been some back and forth between Romelu Lukaku and Napoli over the recent days since he joined the Belgian national team. Napoli wanted him back. Romelu Lukaku said he doesn't feel well and so he has to stay in Belgium. So it was already a tense situation between Romelu Lukaku, his camp, and Napoli over the recent days. Now Romelu Lukaku statement released by Napoli, so a specific statement by Napoli regarding this issue with Romelu Lukaku, saying, we called the player, he has to be back, he doesn't want to come back, and now we are considering what to do, eventually to exclude Romelu Lukaku from the squad. Well, guys, we will see how this story will finish, whether Romelu Lukaku will be excluded from the Napoli squad or not, but in general, the feeling is that the relationship between Romelu Lukaku and Napoli at the end of the season could be over, with a new chapter for the Belgian striker. Now, there is still an important final part of the season to play, and Napoli hope to sort the situation with Lukaku. They need also Lukaku. But Napoli also want their rules as a club and as a coaching staff with Antonio Conte to be always respected. So, at the moment, the feeling is that in the summer, with a good opportunity for both parties, Romelu Lukaku could leave Napoli and could try a new chapter in his career. So that story, Romelu Lukaku's future, could be one to watch again this summer. And then Marc Cucurella, big interview made by Marc Cucurella. Let's first of all clarify the situation. Yesterday, Marc Cucurella in press conference was asked several times about Barcelona, his former club, and Cucurella made clear several times already how he loves Barcelona as a club and the place where he started his career. But then when he was asked about that, Cucurella was very clear. I'm fully focused on Chelsea. I am at Chelsea. So Cucurella didn't open doors to anything. Then when they asked him, would you like to return to Barcelona one day? What about Barcelona appearing on the scene and maybe making a proposal? Cucurella said, well, if Barcelona accept, it's difficult to reject. But it's not something I'm considering now. I'm fully focused on Chelsea. So a very serious answer. But today, in an interview with The Athletic, Cucurella sent important messages to the club, saying with Enzo Maresca we had a very good relationship. In my opinion, Cucurella says, was not the best solution to fire the manager mid-season. It's probably better to do that at the end of the season, to take big decisions at the end of the season, because Liam Rosenior has very good ideas, but it's difficult to understand and practice them now in the middle of the season. So Cucurella was also disappointed about the results in big games. It was something like against PSG. You can see we have a very good young squad. The foundations are there, but we also need some experience. We need some balance. So strong messages coming from one of the leaders of the dressing room and one of the faces of this Chelsea project, like Marc Cucurella. So for sure, a tense situation in the media. Then Marc Cucurella is always a smart player, a player who knows what he says, a player who likes to have some kind of leadership also in these kind of situations, but also to send a message to the club. He's not doing that against Chelsea or against someone. He's only speaking to send the best message possible to Chelsea as a club and also to the fans. So this was the clear mission. And then, guys, to talk about Manchester United, many of you today asking me, what about Sandro Tonali? In England, there are conflicting reports on this one. Guys, the reports I saw in England, with maximum respect as always, are about Man United had Sandro Tonali as a top target 1 year ago, but was too expensive. Now the feeling is still that this deal is expensive. It's too expensive, it's complicated. So this is the message coming out of Manchester United today. Guys, I can guarantee that Manchester United had already some contacts this year, not last summer, this year again, February, March, with Sandro Tonali's camp, to be informed about the situation, to understand the pricing and all the rest. Then, I'm not saying that Man United have signed Sandro Tonali or that Man United are making a bid for Sandro Tonali, but Man United had contacts in the last 2 months for Sandro Tonali. Arsenal made some calls to be informed on the situation as well. Manchester City like Tonali, but the top target for Manchester City is Elliot Anderson at Nottingham Forest. I told you that already last month and I repeat now. Man City want Elliot Anderson as a top target. Sandro Tonali is also on the short list, also because Bernardo Silva is leaving, and we have to see how many midfielders Man City want to add to the squad. For Man United, contacts ongoing for Tonali, yes, but then Man United still don't have any indication on the pricing from Newcastle for Sandro Tonali. So Man United will not do something crazy for Tonali. Man United will not spend crazy money on Tonali. If the price is right, for sure he's a player on the list and they're having contacts for him. Then, from this to signing Sandro Tonali, there are several factors to consider. Elliot Anderson is also really appreciated and really highly rated by Manchester United. I told you in a video here on the channel 2 days ago, there is a battle in this moment in Manchester, because Man United and Man City both really appreciate Elliot Anderson and Sandro Tonali. So for sure, both players are on the list. For sure, both players are appreciated. Then we have to understand the pricing, we have to understand the wages request. There are several factors before this club decides to go for these players, and also the managerial factor. Who's going to be my United manager? Carrick has chances, but it's still not decided, it's still not communicated. Pep Guardiola, at the moment, he's still confirming in public that he's staying in Manchester City, but at the moment it's still something we have to control with a special eye till the end of the season. So we have to understand what kind of project that will be in place for season 2026-2027 and for the future. But for sure, the appreciation for Tonali and Elliot Anderson is confirmed for both Man United and Man City, waiting to understand pricing, if they want to bid, how much, wages, commission, and all the rest. And so, guys, tell me your thoughts on all these stories from Roberto, Zerbi and Tottenham. How do you see this appointment? And then Tonali, Elliot Anderson, who is the best one in your opinion? Lukaku, Cucurella awards. Your opinion, guys, here in comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.